Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Homestead Fabricator. Today's video I'm going to talk about what I like and don't like about my Echo CS-590, commonly known as Timberwolf. I was originally going to release a video, but I had some errors in there. I didn't know how to edit it out, so factual errors. So let's get on with it. What I like about it was the price I paid. It was, $355 shipped to my door. But then it turned out, because I bought it online through Amazon, no warranty. The local dealer will not warranty it because it was purchased online. Now, if it's purchased at another dealer, okay, fine. But since it was bought online, forget it, no warranty. So, should have spent an extra, $50 and bought it from the dealer. That's what you get for trying to save money. So I could do whatever I want to this thing. I could just modify the bejesus out of it if I wanted to. So what I like about it, great power for the money. It's definitely no pro saw. The real difference between the 590 and the 620p, I'm not sure about the chain brake, but the handle on the 620p is metal. The carb is a little bigger on the 620p, as well as different coil, ignition coil. It's still limited, but it's about 1,000 RPM higher or so than the 590. And the rest of the engine is the same. From my understanding of everything, the engine itself is the same. The only difference is in, like I said, the carb and the coil. The other difference is the oil pump gears. There should be metal in the 620p. In this one, they're probably like that Super Duty nylon, plastic, whatever you want to call it. Other than that, basically no difference. Chain brake might be a little beefier. Handle on there might be a little beefier on the 620p, but for the money, it's a horse apiece. If you want a little more zip, you can get the 620p. If you want a little more bang for the buck, this saw is just fine. In an average cut, 12-inch, 14-inch, you're gonna have a few tenths of a second difference in cutting speed. That's it between this and the 620p. So if that isn't an issue, save a few bucks and get the 590. It's been a good saw so far. Still got the original chain. I gotta touch it up. I kind of dulled it up on the last tank of fuel. And it's easy starting. I found out it has a summer and winter mode, so it ran just fine in the winter in summer mode, so go figure. But in the extreme cold, you'd probably want to definitely set it for winter mode to keep the carb from icing up. And another thing is the weight isn't too bad. It's on par with some of the other offerings. And what makes the engine in the Echo a really good bargain is that the engine is designed for torque. Per a video put out by Tin Man, thanks to him I learned a few things on this saw by watching his video. The intake port timing is fine, but the exhaust port timing, it's set for torque and not RPM. So basically, this is a sleeper saw. If you did the 620p carb ignition and then you port it, it'd probably be equal to Husqvarna 560 2XP or the steel equivalent to 361, 362, whatever generation they're on right now. I'd have to double check. But it'd be on par with those if you modified it, or it may actually outperform it. because the way Echo designed the motor, it designed it for torque, which is good for the long bar, especially when stock. It's good for the longer bars. Have a little more lugging power. The higher strung saws, like the 562 XP, may struggle a little bit with the longer bar, whereas this one may be just fine. I haven't run them side by side to tell for sure, but that's what I've heard from some people. Oh, a few other things. Yeah, I have a 20-inch bar for this. That's what it came with. I have a 24 on here now, so it's easier to work the log pile. Easier to get down in between logs and work around stuff and all that. Reaching over logs so I don't have to climb up on a pile. I don't want to reach too far because then you don't have control of the saw very well. And a few other things. I haven't had any starting issues unless I flooded it. I think I flooded it once. And it's just a matter of taking the spark plug out, blew it off, huff and puff to the plug and put it back in, fire it up. And who would this saw be really good for? For the money, you can't beat the Echo 590 for a farm and ranch saw. You just can't, in my opinion. You just can't. Unless you can get an older saw like the 029, saws like that. Those are really good saws. Or the old 028 steel. That's another good saw. Not sure about the other ones. I'm more familiar with the older steels than I am with Echoes or Husqvarna, but if you're going to get a new farm and ranch saw around the 55-60 cc range, I get this one. I get this one probably over the Rancher 460 Husqvarna. I believe this one is lighter and overall better value for the money. As far as the steel goes, I would still buy this Echo over the steel equivalent. I just would. If I'm getting a pro saw in this size, well, then I'd probably get the Husqvarna or the steel, because it's got a lot more guts than the 620p does. So the 620p falls in between the Echo 590 and the steel 361, whatever version they're on now, and the Husqvarna 562 XP. So that's the range of saws. But then for those pro saws, you're spending over $800 to get those. The 620p, I have to check. That's probably closer to $600, but it's a lot less than the Husqvarna and steel. And this one comes in at $400, generally on the retail. So for $400, you can't beat it. And because, like I said before, because of the engine design, it leaves so much on the table that it will really rip when modified. You throw everything you got at it, you can at it, do the carb ignition, porting, and muffler mod, you're going to be running better than the 560 2XP, the steel, 361, 362, whichever. You're going to be probably outcutting those with this saw and spend roughly the same amount of money. As you take, though, by the time you add the 24-inch bar to those saws, versus modifying this one, if you take it to the shop, you're going to be spending a lot less money to ship it back and forth. That's going to be $50 to $75 one way. So if you have a performance shop nearby, just take it there yourself, and you may actually spend the same or less money on modifying your Echo 590 plus original purchase price than you would for the other pro saws. And that's what makes the Echo 590 a really good value in my opinion. I'm going to go sharpen a chain now. So until next time, folks, take care. Get out there and do something.